Hi guys, it's Gez Perez here and welcome to the 5-part video series all about branding for online businesses. In today's video, you're going to learn 4 components of online branding you need to consider. Now, online businesses, as with all businesses, rely on branding to engage with consumers and customers to stand out from the crowd. Now, without a strong brand, pretty much your company is simply just like the masses. So regardless of how good your product is, people are always looking for a brand that's going to relate and also that can actually recognize. So here are the 4 components you need to consider. Number 1 is value proposition. And the question is, where would be a business without a value proposition? Now, branding should always revolve around this called value proposition. Now, you got to begin by defining what your value proposition is so you can have a clear understanding of what you are offering. Now, you can, be relatively have all this information to engage with your audience in different type of ways. So you got to consider the value you can offer to your customers or consumers and why they should choose you over your competitors. Then you got to market this type of information that you have, and it's going to be your core of your brand. So you got to make sure that you have a clear definition of what your value is. Number 2 is identity. The next thing you need to consider is identity. Your brand will take a life of its own, representing much more than a name of a company. It's going to associate with values, purpose, and your mission and a certain way of doing business. Now, rather than allowing this to happen organically, you got to sit down and make a plan of what you want on your brand to identify what it would be. This way, you're going to have a lot more control and how you can actually do this. Number 3 is called strategy. Another component is to closely link to identify what the strategy is. Your overall plan and vision becomes a key part of your brand. So what do you hope to achieve? What will your business look like in year number 1 or year number 5 or in 10 years? So you got to think about your goals and how this is going to impact your brand. Now, is it even worth mentioning, thinking about this? Absolutely, because your brand and your customers are going to relate to that and they're going to see the bigger picture. So that's why we got to be strategic in the approach of your brand. Number 4 is visuals. Many people incorrectly believe a brand is all about the visuals, but it's so much more than that. While visuals are arguably the least important component on this list, it doesn't mean that it doesn't play a significant role. It does, right? When we talk about branding, visuals, we are referring more than just the design. It's the aspects of your logo, your colors, the font types, the message behind the brand. And so it should be a design that people can look at and instantly recognize and belong to it. So a good logo isn't just everything, but it sure does make a massive difference when a brand is memorable and recognizable. So branding can be a tricky process, but if you consider one of these or each of these components, you will likely to have a successful outcome in this branding. So guys, this is video part number 1. I'll see you on the next part.